Hey y'all, what's up, what's going on? So today we are going to be doing our Baddies South review recap. Y'all, if you're not part of the family, go ahead and hit subscribe, turn on your post notifications so you don't miss our videos, okay? Because we review this every week. All right, so we started off with a crazy Royal Rumble that was going down from last week. It was pretty much like Slim was going against what's her name, Chrisean. Then Jayla was trying to help defend her because she felt that Rollie was about to do some tag team and jump her. So, but it wasn't really jumping. But now that I've seen everything over and over again, I do see what Jayla was saying. Is like Rollie didn't really have anything to do with anything, and because I guess Slim kind of got beat up, it's like, oh, now all of a sudden you're like, oh, what you want to do? But like, how did that come into place? Like, why are you getting into something that didn't really have anything to do with you? And I really like Rollie for the most part, but like that right there was kind of contradictory to like the things that she usually says she stands for, like no jumping and all that. Yeah, you can't classify this as technically jumping, but it's pretty damn close, you know what I mean? And it's like, I don't know, I just felt like that was kind of shady because it didn't really make any sense for her to be jumping into the fight. So, but yeah, it was like everything was going crazy, and people, the rest of the girls is just standing back on the sidelines like, thank God this ain't me, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know Persuasion's like, finally I'm not in a fight, and it's like, yo, I'm happy that this ain't me this time, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just able to chill this time around. Slim was dead getting beat up though, and then she snuck up and tried to catch Kashan on some like tackling type of thing, so that was crazy. And then Rollie, she got some swings in too, but then it was crazy because like when Jela and Rollie was fighting each other, Kashan tried to like come and start hitting her too. So it's like they was all pretty much like getting each other. It was just like crazy. And Slim, she kept on being relentless. Like she was nonstop, even though she was like literally bleeding from her mouth. Like it was just crazy. I could definitely say this looks like Rollie got beat up. She was on and somebody had said it too from the Zeus platform, because on the app you could like have chats and stuff, and somebody had told me that last week. They was like, nah, it looked like, because I was like, I don't know who won this one. They was like, yo, Rollie was on the floor, she was on the ground on the grass rolling. I'm like, and I seen it too, like she's just like, she's definitely giving Rollie for this one. I'm sorry, but I gotta keep it real where you gotta keep it real. Natalie was trying to calm them down because she's trying to tell them like the sheriff lives right across at the next house right there. So she's like, yo, we do not want to get freaking put in jail down here, because you know the South is different. It's not like if you in Cali or New York where they allowing everybody to run rampant with the crimes. Like the South, I'm pretty sure they take it a little more serious. Like these are red states, you know. The blue states, I don't know what's going on lately. I mean, people is just running amok, but that's a whole nother story. But yeah, she's trying to tell them, and they was still like going. Rollie still taunting and teasing and still nonstop, would not stop saying what she had to say. But I think she was also a little embarrassed, low key, even though she kept on acting like she won the fight. Like, baby girl, no, like, you need to look at the footage again. Unless they cut some parts out that we didn't get to see, like, I can't call this one, baby girl. Nah. It definitely looks like Rollie got the beat down for the first time so far in the house, because Jayla got them hands. You know, she quick with it too. You know, she's nimble. Jack be nimble, Jack be quick. Just moving. And Kashan she wouldn't stop either. Like once everything was done, because I guess she knew like that somebody hit her. She couldn't really see who it was, but it was Rollie that was hitting her when she was trying to fight Slim, you know, pulling on her hair and hitting her in the back of her head. So she was not trying to let down either. Like she was not even trying to get in the little sprinter bus or nothing like that. And so, but luckily they had two sprinters, so they was able to split the girls into two sections. Natalie ended up getting the second one, which actually looked like it was better. It had like some lights. She had a cooler with some drinks to let the girls unwind and chill out a little bit. The other girls, they was in the other bus. So the first bus, it had like Chrisean, Jayla, It had Bree at the time. It had Persuasion and Scotty. So they was all forming their own little allegiance or whatever. But it was weird because it seemed like Jayla was starting to like not really, she was like saying things like she wasn't really effing with Natalie and stuff like that. And she was like, Natalie tends to throw the rock and then she hides the hand. And she was saying like other little subs and stuff. And Natalie was actually being good because she was trying to ignore all the little stuff that she was saying. And I'm like, girl, you good. You know, like you've definitely grown over the last few years because she was just, you know, kind of a little more mature with the situation because she could have bugged out, you know what I'm saying? But Jayla, she was just going off, you know, with Chrisean and saying like, yo, I got you. Like she was just acting like they was ready. They was like besties for life or something like that. Like, girl, didn't you just meet her like recently? How you get so like close to her? And mind you, she was saying that Natalie and her, they've been friends for years and they're so close and things like that. So Natalie, she was telling the girls on the bus, like, I can't understand, like, who Jayla is at the moment because she's acting so funny, you know? It's like, it's weird. And she was doing that even before. Like, when it was in the other bus, she was kind of acting a little weird before when they had the Baddies bus. That's when Natalie was, like, pull the bus over and stuff like that. That moment, she was even acting a little weird. And she was, like, kind of acting like she didn't understand why Natalie was mad, even though Natalie's she's the EP and she's trying to tell you guys something and you are listening to what Chrisean is saying instead of giving her attention and treating her, you know, like the boss she is. It's like you're just disrespecting her. Why? Because you think you're on the same level. Regardless of anything, she's the person that you're supposed to at least be listening to, you know what I'm saying? Like, since you got Chrisean there, how about you tell her, like, hold on a second, let's hear my girl out, you know? Like, that's what a real friend would have did. She wasn't giving real friend vibes. She was more so giving kind of like, she was low-key, like, jealous of her or something. Like, oh, like, who does Natalie think she is and this and that. And I'm just like, well, damn. You know, with friends like that, who needs enemies, right? So Scotty said that she stayed in the bus with the people that she knew best, which was Jayla and those other chicks. But I'm like, I thought she knew because when she came in, wasn't she introduced by Natalie? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, she probably knows Jayla as well, but you was introduced by Natalie. You only knew Ann for a couple of days, and you don't know everything that happened prior to, you know, you coming. So I don't know, I felt like that was a little weird too. Like, all of them is like low-key traitors. Like, I don't know, I couldn't be around people like this because like I'm real funny about energy. I'm real funny about the people that I'm around and how like I'm real perceptive, and I'm really like, I listen to what people say, but I also look at their body language, and I also, you know, kind of see things that they may not be saying or hear things that they may not be saying based upon the way they're acting or subliminals or whatever, you know? So yeah, all that stuff is just like real weird. I can't be around people like that. It's like you just switch up just like that. Like, what kind of friend are you really? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not gonna be there in hard times. So Jayla was like that she be with Natalie every day. She be around her daughter. She knows her schedule. Like, she can't understand why Natalie's acting fake. And then Chrisean's like, yeah, she's acting all fake and stuff. Like, she's the source of the problems. And she's throwing herself into the mix, like just riling them up a little bit, mixing everything up, talking about some, oh yeah, like Natalie, she needs to be like the mediator or something like that because she's supposed to be the EP. Like, she shouldn't be fighting. And I'm like, she hasn't been fighting. Like, I'm actually proud of her because there's many times where she could have popped off and should have popped off, you know, just to show like, you're not going to be talking to me crazy, you know. But she has a lot to lose, and she probably, I mean, even in the last one, she was fighting. So maybe she's like, you know what, I'm gonna be a better person this time around. Who knows? Or because she's so close with Jayla, she's trying not to like allow her to really get to her like that, you know? She's letting her get her time, kind of unwind, get back down to good graces or whatever, instead of like, I know that you're mad and I'm gonna like just jump in there because you're talking to me crazy. Maybe that's what it is. even when they arrived at the 2 spots, because they had to like take a plane and all this other stuff, because the sprinters in the local area, they wasn't going to the other part of the town, so they had to get different sprinters. So even when they did all that, they switched, they got to the houses. They got 2 houses, luckily, and they're both identical. So that relieves a lot of crap, you know, allows them to be in 2 different places, so the places hopefully don't get all messed up, because those houses look nice. So yeah, when the 2 buses pull up, it looked like they was all ready. They was all on time and like just ready, like with a stance. Like, you know, you're supposed to stand like this with a little bit just in case, so that if anything happens, I learned this in one of my certification classes, y'all. You're supposed to stand a certain way so that if anything, you know, you be ready and you won't fall over if somebody's to bum rush you. That was in my mental health first aid class. So they was all like, I felt like all of them had like defensive type of stances. Like they just seemed like they was like ready for anything, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody just had the mean faces on, and Natalie was actually being the bigger person, trying to actually be the mediator that Anne said that she wasn't, you know. And it's funny, nobody gives you credit when you're doing the right thing. They only want to talk about you and trash you and say the negatives. But did Anne say, wow, I'm so proud of Natalie because she stepped up and she was a mediator because she's the EP? No, you don't give people acknowledgement. You can't give them praise because that's too good. You know what I'm saying? We have to look for their flaws and their faults. And that's kind of more so what they were doing. But yeah, it was like real crazy, real tense looking. And Jayla started calling Natalie out, and it was like, for what? You know, like she's actually saying good things and you're trying to call her out like you're trying to fight her or something. Even Chrisean's like trying to cover her mouth, like chill out, like stop saying that, you know. So even Chrisean, who sometimes can be very impulsive, she was one of the people that actually had some sense in this particular instance. But yeah, y'all, that was a pretty crazy episode. Lots of fighting, not too much substance though. They didn't really do much, but that's pretty much the episode, y'all. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Laters.